Hey everybody, I'm Rook. Welcome back to the table. Welcome to some painting. We're doing some painting today. We're doing some kobolds from WizKids. These guys right here. And this is a little bit of a pop-up setup today. You know, a lot of the painting stuff I do, I stream, and then I kind of dump the stream onto the channel. But this one's going to be a little more condensed because I am in a time crunch, and I got to get these guys painted for this evening. So we got 3 kobolds here, and they're little tiny guys. Comes in a pack of 3. It's one of these because they're small enough, right? And here we go. We got a camera that can actually focus well today, so hopefully that looks better for you. And we're going to go ahead and pop these into our holders, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So what we're going to need here, a couple brushes. Let's go with, I'm going to use a Wargamer Regiment today. Right here, pretty mid-sized brush. And then for some finer details we can use, this is actually the Army Painter Hobby Highlighting Brush. And, you know, I do have a lot of these other starter brushes from Citadel and some Paint Night kits. Speaking of Paint Night kits, what we're going to be using here today, most of these paints I believe are from, what is it, the Red Slad that we did, or the Dire Troll. I'm going to use primarily this black red and a little bit of Parasite Brown highlight here on the skin tone. And then, you know, it's a lot of silverish armor. We can get away with the dark sea green here. Maybe a little bit of black. We do have some vermilion if we want to get a little lighter. And the light flesh probably for the teeth. And let's see, there's some gold, so maybe we dip into a little gold. For the base is going to be like a gray. So we can use this Astro Granite from Citadel, which is like, this is really goopy. Like, you can tell it's like made for bases. Just kind of how, kind of like goopy, and it's got little bits in it. Here, if I shake it up, you should kind of see... Yeah, right? Ugh. So you got that there. That's going to be good for our base. And then maybe for a little bit of flair to the base, a little bit of Carrick Stone there. Kind of give it some highlights too. I like those Citadel paints. Let's go ahead and get started painting. So we have our wet palette here, brushes, paints, ready to go. Like I said, this has got to be a fast one. We're in crunch time for these 3. So typically, I can probably paint these 3 in about an hour, hour and a half, trying to get the level of detail I want and make them table ready. Of course, you know, I could spend all day going back and forth on them, but we're trying to make them just ready for tonight. So let's go ahead and get our black red. Make sure that's shaken up. And can I open it? Opening it off camera. Camera setup's very tight today. You can see, kind of get some black red here. Put it on the palette. Ooh, that's very wet. That's very wet. We might not even need this wet palette. I remember that the paints were pretty thin, just coming right out of the pot, you know. So the wet palette keeps it wet, you know, so it doesn't dry up on us on the palette, and it keeps it thin, so you don't, you know, go over. This is a small model. You don't want to glob paint on it and go over details. So go ahead and get a base coat. You know, the body is going to be this red color, and then we can go back with the silver. But don't want to leave any gray spots. This is prime painted out of the box. That is what Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures are known for the WizKids. So we go ahead and put this on the model. And you can see it kind of comes right on. And I'm going to take a little bit more off the brush, just kind of putting it on the body before I touch the face, because the face is the one that I definitely want the most detail to stay on. You know, I don't want to accidentally obscure anything. Yeah, so you see I'm kind of covering kind of the base, just the areas where you're going to see a lot of the skin. And you can do a whole base coat of this color. You know, I'm certainly comfortable splashing it into armor spots just because we're going to go back over with the armor color on it. And I'd rather do that so that at the end of the day, you know, I don't leave any gray spots, because that can be really frustrating to come back and see that you missed a spot like under the armpit here. So we're just going to be a little, going to be pretty generous applying this kind of all over the model. And there's different, I think these guys are wearing different types of armor, right? So if we look at our sample here, you can see one guy's kind of shirtless, one guy's got like a half shirt, and one guy's got a full breastplate. We're currently looking at the half shirt guy. Alright, now that we have most of our body in the red, we can start looking at other colors. Let's clean our brush. And let's see, a lot of these guys have, their armor's going to be kind of silverish, maybe a little grayish. So let's open this dark sea green. It says it's green, but it's really a gray. These are all from Vallejo. Put that right here. Ooh, that was a lot. And let's go to, where's our full breastplate guy? This guy? Yeah. Let's go here and let's just start putting the gray. And let's see, any sort of nuances. There's some browns and tans in the spear. Kind of get right around. Right around there, you can see. And up the shoulder across the back here. I think the camera's focusing on this guy. Here we go. And we might want to switch to the smaller brush in some places for sure. This guy's going to have the most kind of gray. You can see the armor there. There's a lot on him. And we'll leave the armband for a brown. The kind of the part of the spear can be a brown too. We can come back. But you know, this is a pretty good kind of two-color model right now. We'll go over to this guy, Mr. Shirtless. And let's see, what do he's got? Pants? Oh no, he's kind of got a he's got that shoulder piece and then kind of the pants here. We'll use this color as well. Let's see that shoulder. Right across there. All right. Armor on number 2. And you can see we left some, there's clearly some spots there that we got to go back over with the base red. And then guy number 3 should be pretty easy because this guy has like, is he even wearing any clothes? He's got the loincloth. And he's got the armband. I'm going to go ahead and pop one of these guys out. Put him in the base holder. Okay, let's see. Let's start with the armband here. This armband we can be gray because there's not too much kind of silver on him. Alright, we got some touch up here. Now let's see, this guy needs a bow and some armbands. Where is our Rhinox hide? Yeah, my favorite brown to use. The Rhinox hide from Citadel. I'm going to pop this open. Scoop right on the palette. And don't really need too much of this either. That's the beauty of the small ones. You don't need too much at all. So we'll do the bow here. And let's see, what else are we going to do? We'll see these armbands here. We'll get them right, it's like so. Alright, we got the base on just about everywhere. We just need the actual base of the model done, and we can do a little highlighting. So let's grab our Parasite Brown, kind of this orangey thing, because I think that's going to be the best thing to kind of brush across our kobolds today. Go ahead and pop this open, and I need to remind myself what this color looks like. Oh, well, it's coming onto my hands, so definitely the orange I'm looking for. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Like acidic orange and very wet on the top. We might not need, well, so we get a brush full, right? And we're going to do a little dry brushing, so let's take most of this off the brush. Okay, just like so. And then if we come to our guy, right, and we just kind of see the orange just kind of come off in some places. Create natural highlights. A little more depth right there. You can see some of the orange come off, like on the elbow there, the face there. Right. Oh, let's get that tail. Now let's do that on all of our kobolds here. Let me put a little bit of this on the palette. That is very liquid. I don't even think we need the wet palette for this. Let's brighten this guy up a little bit. Probably put a little bit of a lighter gray on that, put a little lighter gray on that armor too, and really kind of pop that out a little bit. Do I have a white? I got a matte white from the Army Painter. I've had this one for a while. Let's see. Let's just put a little bit right here. You see that? There we go. A little bit right there. And give me, I'll take the War Gamer Regiment here. Give me some of this gray. A little bit of that white. And we're just making kind of a lighter, yeah, right over here. Lighter gray. A little more, a little darker. A little darker. But that's good. You don't want to do just stark white necessarily. It might look a little jarring. So we have kind of a lighter gray here. That should do well. That should do well. Let's take most of this off the brush. Yeah, that's a good color. And now if we go into our guy here and we just kind of like, the back might be the best way to kind of show this. And we just sort of naturally come across here. Ooh, that is very bright. Take a little more off. There we go. You can kind of see. Oh, come on, focus here. Yeah, a little bit was a little excessive on the pants there, but you can kind of see just some natural shine on the armor. Kind of brings it out a little bit. All right, a little more depth. I'll take that Parasite Brown because I'll make that the color of the tail piece of the arrows. See how that looks, just kind of putting that right here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Oh, one other little detail that would be really nice to kind of pull off here. And we get our flesh, our light flesh for this is the teeth. Just get a little more detail on the face there. I'm not going to try and do eyes or anything. It's just so small. But if we get a little bit of light flesh, just a touch. Just a touch. And we go, and we just gently, so gently. That's almost too much. I'm going to take a little bit off. Just. Give it a little teeth right there. Here's our teeth. Can we do that 2 more times, though? Oh, looks like we can. There we go. All right, guys, that is pretty much it for a speed run table ready Kobold set of 3. We'll go ahead and do a little. Let's do a little base work with the Astral Granite, and then we'll be done. So Astral Granite, as I showed you guys. Oh, we need a rattier brush for this because this ruins brushes. So we have another Wargamer Regiment here, but this one's the old one I've had for a while. You can see, just look at it. Oh boy, really globs. Really globs out. So we just grab a bunch of that and just put it on the palette. Try and thin it a little bit because we don't want the base like going crazy, you know. And let's go to our base, and we just kind of sponge it, brush it on all around. You can see little pieces come off too. That's pretty cool. It kind of shows like a really kind of accentuates kind of the grimy, you know, floor that they're standing on. All right, bases have been officially Astro Granited, and now, last thing, very last thing, we have that Carrick Stone, and I'm just gonna brush a little bit on the base there to just give it a little highlight. We can use our Wargamer here, the fresh one. And we'll just see it's like kind of tan. Take most of that off. And if we go back to the base, you just kind of splash it around the base, and you can see gives it a little depth. Right. See kind of it coming over some of the rocks there. A little bit of depth on the base. Nothing fancy. Like I said, this is a kind of a speed paint, but also, you know, don't want to sacrifice too much quality. I mean, let's give them some highlights here. At the time of recording this, it is like, I got to be there in like an hour and a half. All right. And there it is, guys. The Kobolds have been completed. So all in all, this was an hour. It took an hour to do these 3. And unlike the streaming ones, this was recorded offline, so I can throw it together in kind of a super cut. So you guys can see just kind of all the steps, you know, and then you skip all the repetitive painting parts. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to hit the like button. Thanks for indulging me in my painting stuff, and I'll catch you guys later. Have a good day.